What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my own new review of Growing Up Hip Hop. I did not upload a video last week. I was tired, but I did take notes for this episode, so I'm gonna see if I can do a two for one and remember what I could remember from the last episode. So, if memory serves me correctly, Twist is trying to get back into church, get right back with God, also be a faithful man, and not worry about any temptations. Sequoia got the message that he just wants to be friends and that she should stop throwing that cat at him because he's not going to catch it. And if he's going to catch it, it's only going to be for a weekend because Twist does not want to date a black woman. That's just period. Um, Eric and Aaliyah. Aaliyah locked Eric out because Eric thought that he can still take advantage of the fact that Aaliyah will be waiting up for him at 5 o'clock in the morning till he comes home from the casino. So, life lesson, like, I ain't got time for Eric and Aaliyah because it's just straight bullshit all the way around. Um, TT and Egypt. TT decided to take the plunge and visit Egypt all the way out in Pahrump, Nevada, to figure out if there is a way for them to move forward. You know what I'm saying? She did have a conversation with Egypt. Okay, she was being a little bit nitpicky and judgmental about, sharp edges and what you're gonna eat and everything as far as like Sam's court case and all that. Did get an invite to the wedding. Not sure if she wants to go because of what has been said and done. Even though her and Egypt are moving forward, Peppa and Teacher are moving forward, it's still Sam that they have to move past. It ended with Lazy's mom suddenly passing away. And my condolences to Lazy. And that's pretty much what I could remember from the last episode. But we get to the new episode where JoJo is getting ready to have a full conversation with his father-in-law Buck as to why he don't like him. Why is there an issue and what is the issue that JoJo is not aware of? So his mom was kind of like defending Buck, defending his behavior because maybe he's coming in the behavior of being a father and being overprotective of his daughter, wanting to make sure his daughter is good along with his grandchildren. I mean, I can understand. I mean, I can understand that with, you know, being a daddy's girl myself. Every daddy wants their daughter to be taken care of and loved and respected, but what has JoJo done that's caused for Buck to treat JoJo like this? Because his energy about him not speaking to him at the birthday party, it seems like it's more than that. But maybe the mom don't want to ruffle any feathers about Buck's character. Maybe she knows him, but she just kept on defending the fact that he's a father. He's supposed to be protective. I get that, but if someone doesn't like my son, after my son has already proven himself to be the best husband, the best father, what is his issue? Because I don't want to have to say nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought the energy his mom would have had to me. And he don't want to have multiple conversations with this man. He don't want to have to constantly go up and down with why you don't like me, what's the issue, what have I done. Like, I just want to have one conversation. You tell me what the problem is. I'll explain to you if I understand what the problem is, and we can move on. Simple as that. Um, Egypt and Sam, they go K testing for their upcoming wedding. They already got married, but this is the official ceremony. Um, so while tasting different types of cakes, they're inviting roughly 200 people to this wedding. Who's paying for this wedding? And Egypt talks about inviting TT and Sean. Now, all of a sudden, Sam wants to talk shit about Sean and say how he don't like me and he's never liked me, but he's never had a reason to not like me. I'm like, Sam, did you forget? Did you forget that you created a whole lie that TT wanted you and that TT was jealous of your relationship? Did we forget? How quickly we forget. Then he says that Sean plays victim. Whenever he's getting into conflict with somebody, he calls for Peppa and Tretch to come and save him. Like what you did when you wanted to make up a lie that TT wanted you. You brought in Peppa and Tretch involved in this, and they believed you and started looking at TT sideways, started believing the bullshit you said. Are you fucking kidding me? Sam, you cry wolf every time. You cry victim every time you're in conflict with somebody. Act like it's not your fault when it's your fault. Like, the fuck out of here. How quickly we forget. How quickly you felt the way about Trish coming at you with some real shit and you couldn't handle it. Get the fuck out of my face. You've done a whole bunch of outlandish shit, Sam, that is ridiculous. You came out of your mouth last season to try to come up with a narrative that TT is jealous of you and Asia because who is TT? She's not a part of hip hop. She's not a part of the family legacy. Are you kidding me? That only proves to me that you only think that you have weight or you have status because you are marrying or you're married to Egypt, who is Pep's daughter and Tretch's daughter. Like, okay, and that still does not negate the fact that TT is somebody. Okay, she's not a part of the hip hop family, but she is a part of the family. Like, get the fuck out of my face with that shit. Like, oh, I can't. I really can't because that's just bullshit that came out of his fucking mouth. Matt Sean plays victim. Dude, you fighting a fucking court case that you got caught with a weapon. And you even said if Sean was to get into a fight, then I would have fought with him, but then punched him in the face. Like, that don't make no sense. And Sean has never had that energy towards you until you made up that lie that his wife wanted you. Oh, I can't. Lazy. Lazy is in the studio trying to get his mind off the fact that his mom suddenly passed away. Sequoia came by to give her condolences, to check up on him. And this tells Lazy that Sequoia needs to make things right with her mother. Life is too short. Don't want you and your mom to constantly be in this disdain, this distance of a relationship. Y'all were very, very close. And y'all should be close, no matter what. And of course, Sequoia is just kind of like, I just hate the way it went about it, but I understand how you feel. And I understand the situation. And I do need to talk to her, my mom. JoJo. JoJo is going over his music for his upcoming album. And he is getting prepared to perform at the 50th anniversary of hip hop that Lazy is hosting. And when JoJo was starting out as a rapper, he didn't get the feedback that he wanted, but he still stayed in music just behind the scenes. The fact that he has another opportunity to rap again, he feels more confident that he can actually do it again and maybe do it better than before. Now, with preparing for the upcoming conversation with Buck, Tanique just wants them to be happy and wants them to have a close relationship. Tretch. Tretch is at the wedding venue with Egypt, and the wedding venue was very, very nice. I liked it. She is also inviting TT and Sean. She lied to say that Sam wants to be cordial. Sure. And Tretch is ready to be a grandfather. Sequoia, she comes over to her mother's house and they talk after not speaking for 5 weeks. And just wanted to talk from her perspective that she didn't want to be involved in another messy situation that she was with her mother and father. They calling her to get in touch with the other person and vice versa. And she said, what happened with your father for 20 years is not going to be what me and Lazy are going to go through. If he wants to call me and wants to see me, he'll pull up on me. But at the same time, Sequoia felt protective of her mother because of what has she dealt with and now she's moving on from, just like it would be for Tiny. Tiny is protective of her daughter and that I wouldn't want you to be hurt, I wouldn't want you to be disrespected. That's pretty much all Sequoia's point was. I just did not want you to be hurt. I wanted you to be happy. And my approach was wrong and she accepted that and they move on. I'm very happy because I do know that a mother-daughter dynamic is so precious, is so fragile that you do not want to lose it. Trust me. Me and my mom have a very close relationship. It's not as close as it was, but we're moving forward. We're moving towards getting better to be closer. We're moving towards that. And I liked it. Tretch. Tretch ends up meeting up with Tyran to talk about Sam. He had a deep conversation with Sam, and Tretch isn't happy. Tretch is not happy with how things have been turning out ever since he found out about Sam's arrest charges and Egypt being pregnant. And of course, he just tells Sam, you need to step it up. Have a plan. He is not knocking Sam's hustle, but the hustle is you putting money in, not money coming in. You putting the money in. So he ain't happy with Sam. And listen, Tretch, you have every right to not view Sam the way you used to view him the first time he came around, the first time he talked about he's going to take care of your daughter, and now push came to shove, you're seeing the words of his actions, and the actions of his words are not lining up. I can understand that. But at the same time, though, Tretch, the fact that you're now seeing this after all this time, it just kind of proves the fact that you wasn't ready to admit that you did not put your foot on Sam's neck sooner than later. You did not have that. And now he's thinking of his, now Tretch is, viewing Sam's movements and actions and behavior. Did he just figure because he was dating Egypt, the daughter of Tretch and Pepper, that he would be set? Like her family is taken care of. They're very well off. They're very established. That they will always be there for her. They will always fix things for her. They will take care of her. So I ain't got to do it. Ding, ding, ding. Trust, that's the answer right there. Sam was an opportunist. Sam thought he hit a gold mine that he got with Egypt, that he didn't have to do shit because he figured you're her parents. You're going to make sure she's well taken care of. She's well off. You ain't got to work for nothing. Hell, he lived in Pepper's house rent free. So, yeah. Now his true colors is coming out and he's not feeling the same way that he used to feel about Sam. And I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad at all. Now when it comes to, his ice cream truck, listen, it's a good thing, you know what I'm saying? In the summertime in Vegas, people gonna want an ice cream cone, but if you're gonna want to make consistent amount of money, you're gonna have to put the time in. That's what you're gonna have to do. And now we're talking about the wedding that Egypt wants Tyran and Tretch to walk her down the aisle. But if Tyran wasn't a part of the process the first time y'all got married, why should he come to the second one? And I don't think that Tyran is wrong for feeling like that, because why wasn't he invited to the wedding the first time? He made sure he went to TT's wedding because he was a part of the process. Because he has a relationship with TT and Sean. Why didn't Egypt involve Tretch more into her marriage the first time? Why? I mean, he wants to have a conversation. He wants to think about it, but I ain't mad at Tyran for, looking at it from what it was. You want me to walk you down the aisle, but yet I didn't get a chance to do that the first time? Okay. I mean, it's kind of funny. It's kind of iffy because he calls that his family is family oriented, but family don't exclude family, which is true. Which is true. Um, Moving on from that, because that's pretty much all Tretch is going off of. He ain't good with me. He on timeout. Jojo. Jojo now meets with his father-in-law, Buck. All right? I'm trying to talk to him, trying to understand what's the animosity. He is hearing disrespect, but he doesn't know where to start. Like, what have I done to disrespect you? What is the issue that you have? Start. Like, give me a starting point where you felt I disrespected you. I have no idea what was going through Buck's mind, because Buck just kept on talking, and he just kept talking, getting loud, getting angry, and nothing makes sense that was JoJo's fault. I didn't hear anything that JoJo did. But he mentioned the wedding, that he was mad at JoJo for not making Denise walk her down the aisle. But he said, I wanted you to walk her down the aisle, but if she said she didn't want you to, what am I supposed to do? I can't control nobody, and I cannot control my wife. So he's mad about that. Then he is also mad about the engagement that happened, but JoJo said I did the engagement by myself. Then, okay, when it came out to the wedding, he was mad at JoJo for not making Denise want her father down the aisle. Then he found out that Buck was getting loud and rowdy at the wedding. He was escorted out. So I was so lost as to what was Buck's issue. They kept going back and forth, and how you supposed to be the king, right? You're supposed to have control of your household, right? I didn't understand what that's supposed to mean. Like, this the thing. Like, I don't like it. Like, did he expect for JoJo to control his wife about what her father's trying to do and not hold her father accountable to how he's coming off? I mean, can we get to the root, really? And then let's also get to you making up a joke that JoJo, little Joey, isn't your grandson. Then the father, Buck, he's talking about, let's all need to have a conversation. I think everybody needs to be involved. My daughter, you, and if we can't communicate, then it's not going to be worth it. I don't think you know how to communicate, but you keep on talking and over talking people. You get loud and rambunctious. I don't like that because what is your personal issue with JoJo? I can't find it. Then when it came down to the joke that he said little Joey isn't his grandson, he said, well, what did I say? What did I tell her? That it was a joke, right? That it was a joke? I don't care if it was a joke or not. Those words should never have left your mouth. You should never joke about a baby that's not your grandson. You should never joke about that. That's not a cool joke. You should never do that. So when JoJo called him out that he hasn't been around ever since Joey was born, I mean, that was suspicious. You didn't see little Joey at all when he was born, and you now want to show up as grandfather of the year at his first birthday? Yeah, that seems suspect. Then he didn't like the fact that he wasn't there. Then he mentioned that throughout the relationship between JoJo and Denise, that he was paying their bills. He was paying their bills, paying their rent, and blah blah blah. I'm just like, what? So when were the times that Buck came in and helped out? I guess he paid for the baby shower. That was the one thing that JoJo didn't pay for was the baby shower. Then one time that Denise asked him for $50, Buck didn't give it to him because he didn't like the fact that JoJo got out of line and was disrespectful. So he said, y'all pay for it. And I just want to know when at some point was JoJo not taking care of Denise financially? Because that's the issue, maybe, that maybe over the years JoJo was not paying the bills and Buck had to come in. And is he still holding on to that? Because it seems though they're doing good now. I don't know. So JoJo going back and forth with him how he paid the bills and this and that and the third. I paid your rent. You never paid my rent. Apparently there was some place that Denise had in Brooklyn that JoJo moved out of, but Buck paid her rent. They're yelling over each other. He says he bringing us something from 8 years ago. I have no idea. It was a point where he moved out, but Denise moved in with her mother in Pennsylvania. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Like, for real, what is going on here? So he kicked JoJo out the studio, but JoJo said, I'll leave and I'm good and ready. I'm chilling. I want to listen to some music. Yo, what you got over there? I want to hear that track. Buck is still yelling over him, saying, get the fuck out of my session. He picks up a bowl of ice, like a bucket or a bowl, and tosses it at JoJo. And said, get the fuck out of my session. I said, what the fuck? Buck, how old are you? Ain't you 50? Your overgrown ass did not have no business of tossing a bucket of ice at JoJo. There come a different way for you to handle your emotions, but throwing a bucket of ice, that's some weak shit. Like, that's some bitch shit. I'm sorry. And that JoJo left so calm and say, yeah, try to be a boss, but you threw ice. I don't get it. What the hell is going on? Like, I was like so confused. I kept on rewinding. I said, how did we get here? Like, really, Buck, what is their issue? Like, it don't seem as if it's directed at JoJo, but you're blaming it on JoJo. Like, I don't like, is there things that your daughter has said that you don't want to talk to her about, but you want to blame him for what? Not controlling her, not keeping her in line with how you're treating her? Like, I don't understand. I don't. But Bug, you were. This don't make no sense to me. It didn't make no sense to me, not one bit. But y'all, that's pretty much all I got. I got no more because that ending was like, whew. Please stay tuned for the next video, and I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.